So a brief Devar Torah about Parashat Vayetzei, which we read this week. You know, it's a very famous section, right? At the beginning of Parashat Vayetzei, it's about Jacob having this dream in the ladder which extends from heaven to earth. And God speaks to him and promises him that God will be with him until he comes back to the land. And when Jacob wakes up, he has this famous line. He says, "Surely the Lord is present in this place, and I did not know it." And most commentators, they make a really big deal about the fact that really what Jacob is getting at, the real lesson for us, is that we have to pay attention, and that actually wherever we are, God is present. And it's a really nice message, I think. And for those who have never read Rabbi Lawrence Kushner's book called God Was in This Place and I Did Not Know It, you should, because it's really a great book. It's a great explanation of many different ways of understanding that verse and how it might apply to us. But, you know, the part I wanted to focus on today is actually the next verse. The next verse after that, it says, "Shaken, he," that is Jacob, said, "How awesome is this place? This is none other than the abode of God, and that is the gateway to heaven." So Jacob doesn't say to himself, you know, everywhere I go, God will be there, which may also be true, but what he says is, this is a really special place. And I think sometimes we forget that part of it, and maybe because I'm a rabbi, and I'm very attached to synagogue, but I think it's really an important thing for us to remember that in Jewish tradition, certain places are special. You know, the book of Deuteronomy makes a big deal. One people, one God, one place. And that one place is the land of Israel, and more specifically, the temple. Now, there is no more temple, and there was sort of a challenge for the rabbis to deal with that. What do you do with the one place? So now we have lots of places, synagogues all over the place. And the way the rabbis understood it is that the Shekhinah, the presence of God, sort of skips from one to the other, so that each synagogue is a special place. It is that place. And unfortunately, I think over time, too many people have come to synagogue and not felt the presence of God. I think that may have to do maybe a little bit with what their expectations were. It may have to do with what synagogues were doing or not doing in order to highlight God's presence. But whenever you come here, or whenever you're in synagogue in general, I hope you will sort of keep this in mind and strive to feel God's presence in that place.
Yeah.